to check. So breathing in, hands up, and breathing out, hands down. Now then, if that's too much, lift your hands up. You can start to slightly circle the hands. In breathing in, just slightly circle the hands, and then bring them down. And bend the elbows as well, because that will soften the movement. So again, the straight up and down starts to change as we get older. So if that is heavy, and no, you do two things. You either circle, which gets around these that rotator cuff, and then down. But you can also bend your elbows as well. And down. And then just once more, lift and roll the shoulders. Lift one shoulder and roll it back. And then lift the other shoulder and roll it back. And then just gently turn the head to one side. Come to the center. And then turn the head to the other side. And come to the center. And so this next one is, again, maybe have your feet slightly hip width apart. And again, the same invitation applies. You can bend your elbows and you can circle your arms out. So the actual one is lifting the arms straight up and back, but that goes through the rotator cuff restriction. So again, if you want to just raise your arms up, stretch up, and then breathing out, lower your arms. You might want to circle them down again. And then lift the arms up. And down. And lifting the arms up. But use whatever adaptation you need to. And down. And then up. And down. Again, lift and roll the shoulder a couple of times. Roll it forward. And then roll it back. And then the other shoulder, lift and roll a couple of times. Roll it forward, and then roll it back. Circle the arms completely up. Reverse, palms up, and breathing out, lower the arms. And again, circle the arms up. If, again, that is too much, don't go right up, only go halfway up. And the test for seeing if it's too much for somebody is when you raise your arms up, if somebody comes then forward like that, it's too much for them. If someone can stand up, that's fine. And so the modification would be to, is that too much for you?
Like it strains my arm a little bit, yeah. But
Last one. So maybe for you, just come to here.
Okay.
So that you're standing straight, but you are not lifting up so much. Is that better?
Yes, that is actually, yes.
So for you, when we do this,
Yes,
remember to do that.
Will do.
For you? Is that better?
Yes.
And then just release. Lift and roll the shoulders. And then bring your hands to the heart center, just breathing in and out. And then hands onto the waist, and softly bending the knees, tummy in. You can look down towards the ground. Press the feet down, and then come up to standing. And lower the hands. Lift and roll the shoulders. Hands to the heart center. That sets your pose because it's hard to slouch. You lift up at the sternum, which is classified as a back bend, so uplifting for the mood. And then hands onto the waist. Soften the knees. Press the feet down and come back up again. Hands again to the heart center. Hands onto the waist. Soften the knees. Engage the abdominal muscles. And then come up again. And again, hands to the heart. Last one. Hands onto the waist. Soften the knees. And then come back up again. And release the hands. Lift and roll the shoulders. So this next one you'll find across traditions of yoga, but including Kundalini. It's looking at the magnetic field. So in terms of lifting your arms up, only as far as you want to, but it's lifting up, breathing out, really bending your knees. Fingers normally would touch the ground, but you are perfectly able and entitled to touch anywhere on the body, the shins and whatever. Press the feet down and roll up. Breathing in, stretching up, breathing out, softening to wherever you are on the body. Press the feet down, roll up. Stretch up, looking ahead or up, you can lift your chin, but again, that is a dodgy area, so just be aware of that. Roll up, stretch up, and lower. Lift and roll the shoulders. So this one, I don't know what this says about me, I'll find incredibly difficult. So do hold on if you need to, but it is lifting one foot up and stretching that, so hold on, bringing it and back. So do hold on, lifting up, stretching out, lifting and down. Lifting up, stretching out. Ooh, yeah, I'm wobbling, so don't look at me. And the last one, lifting up and down. Just circle the ankle in one way and then circle the ankle in the other direction. And then the same on the other side, lifting up, stretching in and down. Lifting up, stretching and down. Lifting up, stretching and down. And last one, lifting up, stretching and down. So there is something that you can do standing. You can also do it sitting, which is using your big toe as a guide to draw a circle. And how much you draw a circle is up to you. You'll draw it in one way, and then of course draw it in the other way. So you'll feel the movement in the hip really, and then just release, and then come to the other side where you're lifting and just pointing the big toe, little circles, and then circling the other way. And then this series finishes by stepping forward. I'm going to step forward with my right foot. Left hand is on the waist. Left foot is out at 45 degrees, thereabouts. Right foot can go out towards the edge of the mat for balance. And breathing in, raise, bent elbow, the right hand. Breathing out, lowering. We're going to do this a couple more times. Breathing in, raising the right arm as much as you like upwards.
It's raining.
Rain?
It's raining.
Really?
Oh, like an April shower.
That is
Shower.
amazing.
It's just raining. Just get one on. Nice, you'll sit on them.
Oh, yours behind you, sorry.
I'll go, no, I'll get them.
No, it's all right.
I can't believe that.
It's rain, but that's not.
Wow.
Cool.
Something like that.
Sorry, I just saw the rain, sorry.
Well done. That's amazing.
Wow,
That's
that's really weird.
Because it's brilliant sunshine. There must be rain there
Rain,
somewhere.
must be a rain.
Right
Sorry,
foot,
where were we?
yeah, no, thank you. Right foot forward, left hand on the waist, raising up, soften the front right knee, and breathing out, lowering the hand. And again, if you were being very strict about it, you go straight up, but you can have the I don't know what you call it, venting going up, and then releasing down, and then stepping back. And just circle the ankle one way, and then circle the ankle the other way, and then stepping forward with the left foot. The left foot can go out to the edge of the mat, the right foot slightly out at 45 degrees. So there is a modification, because this is like a modification of Warrior One, you're turning your hips around, and that can be quite awkward. So you are allowed to lift the back heel to turn you better, but then your balance is compromised, so it's a choice of what you want to do. The right hand on the waist, lifting up the left hand, soften the left knee, and then thank you, and then lowering. So by doing it one thing at a time, you tend to do it more thoroughly and feel into the pose. So it tends to be more, what's the word? One side at a time, although Warrior One is one side at a time. It's just a softer approach, really. And then breathing in, stretching up to where you want to, and then breathing out. Soften, step the left foot back. Comes with a very familiar swaying from side to side. And as quickly as it's come, it's gone. It's
No,
really...
it's still raining over there,
Oh,
but not there.
anyway.
Yeah.
Having
It's
this.
raining there.
And then very gently come to slow down and lift and roll the shoulders. It's turning the head to the left, coming through to the centre, turning the head to the right. Just do that a couple of times in your own timing, left, and then coming to the right. Left, and coming to the right. Come to the centre. Hands on the waist, balance, not my forte, and just lift your heels. So the balance is more a mind thing, and then just releasing, just softly bend your knees to kind of get into that. And then just very gently come to a seated position. Now then, I'm just wondering, does anybody want blankets for their needs, bolsters for their needs? I'm aware of knee issues. Do you want anything, Annie? Just say if you do. Do you want me to close the door? Is it now too close? Sure?
Yeah.
Absolutely sure? Okay. So then come to this very elegant, as I send everything flying, just come to however you want with your legs out. Pick one foot up and foot shake. So however you want to shake your foot, just shaking out energy. I quite like to add in stretching that foot out, circling the ankle one way, the other way, extend the heel and just point. Can you feel?
Well, it pulls in the calf.
All right. So
Good.
don't. Oh,
I guess it's good, isn't it?
well, only good to if it feels a nice stretch, not a painful stretch.
No, okay.
And then just bend the knee up and just swing a little bit. And then if you want to, you can place the hand on the ground and just swing or just circle the hip one way and then the other way.
Oh, sorry, same neck.
same leg.
Oh, sorry.
And this, you'll have to tell me if this is a step too far. Just turn the leg out, and you can either thread your fingers through the soles of the feet, and if that is too much, just use your hand to bend the foot backwards and forwards.
Oh, now it's properly raining.
Now it is properly wet.
Isn't that?
Is that amazing? Just as good. It was good that we took everything.
Yeah, very good.
Everything went.
I suppose it is October, the end of October,
Yeah, people feel it's cool. It's like
and then just gently release that leg, just hug the right knee in, and then just release it back down to the ground. And then the left leg, just picking it up, however you want to shape the foot. I mean, you could shake it like that, I suppose, just hold it underneath, that's a better shape. And then just circle, holding the opposite side. Oh, wow. And then just swing your knee. So this is the fluid, is it synovial?
Synovial
Fluid. So if ever you have knee issues and you want to move your knee, but you don't want to damage it or do anything major, then this is a very gentle way to just kind of get it going again. And then again, just come over to the side. And again, you can either thread your fingers through, just, if that is too much and too painful, you can use your hands over the top just to open and close. Is that getting into the lung meridians
Yeah,
again?
stretching them, yeah. Balls of your feet.
Good.
And if you've got your fingers down between your toes, which I don't like very much, but that's all your sinus reflex points down there, so...
So have you got sore sides? Because I always remember you've never worn flip-flops.
No, I can't wear them.
horrible. I
I actually can't walk in flip-flops. No, I've got just really
I like them,
sensitive
yeah.
toes, so I
Yeah.
don't like putting my fingers between my toes very much. Anyway, that's the reflex points, is all your sinuses and everything right down between your toes.
Okay.
So if you press down between the base of each toe, that's the, all the sinus points.
So if you're getting any bugs, you're completely concerned about something, I'm guessing that would shift things.
Well, it would help, yes, it just helps stimulate things, yeah.
But as you know, I'm a complete devotee to the neti pot.
The what?
The neti pot, which is, have you ever heard of that?
You'll have to try it.
Come to Butterfly and soon I have any thought for the day. The neti pot is just like a wee teapot, I get it from Yoga Matters, with a spout. I put warm water in and a pinch of salt, up your nose.
I want
I
to
think
start
it's-
doing
it's-
that. It's an acquired taste.
Oh.
No,
I don't like
I love it, surprisingly,
Yeah.
but if you don't like it, which I
No.
get, you can get it from the chemist, any
There's
chemist
an
salt
arrow.
spray.
There was an
Yes.
article in the paper the other day about it. I think it was in the
I have to
National,
look
yeah.
on- I have to look online.
And then it
Very
said
nice.
that how people literally are in one camp or the other. They either absolutely hate it or
Love
love
it.
it. So yeah.
My understanding is that viruses can incubate in the mucus behind the nose.
Yeah, in the tissue, soft tissues of the nose. I mean, that's where your COVID goes.
But the other thing they were
Breathe
saying
in
that
there.
if you flush it out too much, then you take away all your resistance to stuff coming because there's nothing
Yeah.
much left there to.
You have
filter.
those sort of immune cells and
Yeah.
good bacteria that fight stuff off. And
Yeah.
So I do it when I think that there's going to be just, have you had thought for the day on your butterfly? Your soles of the feet together?
Oh,
or
okay.
anything?
Well, sinuses. Head is basically your big toe. That's your head. So across the top of your big toes, that's your brain. So if you've got pain there, that's a bit of brain
Yes.
ache and stuff. And then all the bits, as we're doing sinus and stuff, your throat area,
Oh,
that's
yes.
your thyroids and
Yes.
everything, is down the front of your. So if you think of your big toe being your head,
Yes.
Okay, this is
lower
the
part
minute.
of your toe at the front is all your sort of throat and
Oh,
everything.
okay.
So
So you
You can just use a
Antiverted, that's when you put your hips in, you antivert them, and when they go out, they're retroverted.
Okay.
Antiverted means forward, retro means back. So if your hips are falling forwards, they're antiverting. As opposed to introverting.
Introverting.
Antiverting.
What am I trying writing this up?
If you
Funny word.
have a natural tendency to turn your
Antiverting.
antiverting your hips in, then when you're doing yoga, sometimes just subtly turning the foot slightly in can give you a better grip, suiting your hip more.
Right.
For some of the yoga poses, particularly when you're downward dog and stepping through.
But how you plant your feet affects your hips, doesn't it? So if you've got pronating
Yes.
is
Pronating.
out, is
In.
it pronates in, that affects your hips, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
And then coming just to bring your knees up. And almost as Janice just asked, so that's why I'm asking, does anybody need a bolster
Oh, I should have got my heels.
just to support under, because I can get you a bolster if you need that. So this is a very soft open. The classic yoga pose is holding your hand literally like that and going forward. But this again is just a very soft, open, chin in to chest, just bending your elbow in and out a couple of times. So it really is a very, very gentle, soft opening. It's better to come down less than to open out than it is to try and stretch for your foot. And then you compromise the pose. And then just coming up, hug the right knee into the chest and extend it out along the ground. And then just bend the other knee. And again, just open. It's a very gentle, soft opening out. I'm just using my right arm against my right calf to press against it and just to open it out to the side. And just then coming back up again. Hugging the left knee into the chest. And then just very gently set the left knee. So the whole of the knee is a marma point. So in Ayurveda, marma massage is part of the Ayurvedic massage system. It's like normal massage. But the whole knee, front, and then you've got acupressure points at the back. So if you've got a dodgy knee, you can massage all around the knee joint. And it's quite soothing if you've got just pulling up and just massaging around. And then transferring to the other knee, softly bending it, just massaging all the way around. There are 3 acupressure points at the back of the knee, like they are on the inside of the elbow. Outside, this little dent in the middle, and then the inside. And so if you just, again, can just nurture, you've got points. And anywhere there's a little dent is an acupressure point. And then just come to open the legs out. And just touch your fingers lightly either side of you, just to lengthen your body. So here, circle the arms up, but you can have them a little bit or right up. Tummy in. Classically, you'd come straight forward, but that can be hurting to the back. So if you bend your elbows, slide your hands down to, say, midway along the shins, lengthen the back by pressing your hands, lengthening from the tailbone to the top of the head, and then just releasing forwards. If you've got long arms, it's much better like that. You can hold your big toe, but that is purely anatomy. It's nothing to do, I don't think, with flexibility. So if you haven't got long arms in comparison to your body, then just wherever you want to be. So forward bend, chin into the chest, is calming to the nervous system and activates the vagus nerve. And then just very gently sliding up, legs in, just left hand to the outside right thigh, a subtle turn over the right shoulder. Head's the last thing to turn. Come back to the centre, lightly touch the hands again, and then right hand to the outside of the left thigh, left hand behind, just subtly turn. And then come back to the centre and just slide the hands down. When you've done a subtle twist, it's quite nice to compensate the spine by coming slightly forward. And then gently coming up and coming now to line in a form of Apanasana. So let's see if that's going to get mucked up. So come to lying and come to hugging the left knee into the chest. So the right leg is lying along the floor. If that is too much for your right leg, you can always bend your knee or bend it completely and then have the right foot on the floor. So hugging the left knee into the chest, sliding the left knee along the floor as you then hug up the right knee into the chest. And take an in and out breath here. Just check that your chin and the back of the neck is long, so your chin's not shooting up to the ceiling. And then release your right foot along the floor, bending up your left knee. So you're alternating left to right. And then changing over again. If you wanted to put a faster pace on this, which you would do in some classes, that is lovely. But you have got to be terribly careful because it can pull you off at the lower back and go into your lower back if you don't do it with awareness. And then lowering your right foot. Come back to the left knee, hugging the left knee into the chest now. And once more make little circles with your left knee as you're holding it in one direction. And then make little circles in the other direction. And then rolling the entire body, holding the left knee in to the right. Your left hip will lift off the ground. If you wanted to bolster underneath your left knee, you can rest it or support it. Otherwise, hold your left thigh with your right hand. And again, your left hand goes on your left waist. And your head can either stay looking up or subtly go to the left. You'll find that your head will have a natural adjustment. You all right there, Annie? So you're rolling over towards the right. And
yes.
Yeah, okay. And to come out of this, I like to use my elbows almost, so just press my elbows slightly into the ground to help me roll back onto my back. And once I've rolled back, I feel very out of position, so I like to bend both knees, place both feet on the ground, lift my bottom and just readjust it, and then slide out my left leg and hug the right knee into the chest. Just circle the right knee in one direction. And then circle the right knee in the other direction. And then hugging the right knee into the chest, roll the entire body to the left. with the right hand on the right waist. Left hand can be supporting somewhere along the right thigh, wherever it feels comfortable. And you either look up or look slightly to the right. Your head supported by the ground. This very simple pose ticks quite a few boxes. And then very gently roll onto your back. Both feet on the floor with both knees bent to allow you to subtly shift your weight or get that rebalancing sense. It feels as if you've been twisted. And then hugging the left knee into the chest. Right foot stays on the floor, right knee goes up to the ceiling. Yes, right knee to the ceiling. Hug the left knee into the chest. This is a very familiar, let the left knee move away from you. Did I say right knee? Hug the left knee into the chest and let it move away to arm's length. And do that a few times in your own breath pattern. And when you next hug the left knee into the chest, support the left knee and open the knee to the left, placing the left ankle on top of the right thigh. And your hands can be resting either on the abdomen or palms down alongside you. And just very gently sway both knees from side to side. How much you sway the knees is up to you. Massaging along the sort of lower back, upper sacral sort of area. And then come to the centre with the knees and hug the left knee into the chest. Supporting the left knee, place the left foot on the ground. And then come to bring your attention to the right side and hug the right knee into the chest. Just circling the right knee a couple of times in one direction and then the other. And then coming once more to hug the right knee into the chest and letting it drift away from you to arm's length. A few times in your own breath pattern. Just check that the back of your neck is long, that there's no tension being held in the neck. And then very gently supporting the right knee, open the right knee to the right and rest the right ankle on top of the left leg. Hands either palms down on the abdomen or palms down on the floor, and just gently rock from side to side. So this is the equivalent of upside down pigeon, a figure of 4, opening the hips, one side at a time. You're also opening the lymphatic system at the lower level, the inside of the groin, one side at a time. And how much you rock from side to side is up to you. come to the centre and hug the right knee and then the left knee into the chest. Both knees are hugged into the chest. Just rock gently from side to side. Again, how much you rock is up to you. You might rock in far enough that you're going onto one elbow and then coming to the centre and going onto the other elbow, or you might keep your rock very minimal. And then coming to the centre. And now hug both knees into the chest. Still holding both knees, let both knees travel away from you to arm's length. Both knees into the chest and away to arm's length. And again in your own breath time. You're now very much on the lower back, around that area where the back takes all the weight and pressure and all the movement that we make. Just hugging in for one last time. And just gently supporting both knees, perhaps holding underneath the thighs to allow one foot and then the other to come back down onto the earth. And just rest one hand on the abdomen, the other hand at the chest level. And check that the back of the neck is long. Just double check that by gently letting the head turn to the right and the left and the right, to make sure that everything's released around the neck. And then bring the head back to centre. And imagine a thread. It can be golden, it can be silver, and it connects both hands, so it connects your navel to the chest. And the thread is not tight, it's straight, but it's gently held, and it emphasises the connection of our centre, our immune system, our centre of process and transformation, to the respiratory centre. If you feel like letting your knees drift together and your feet wider apart in constructive rest, that's welcome to do that too. The elbows are slightly open and you're giving a little bit of space to both your lungs but also to the upper lymphatic system. And then very gently raise both hands to connect, touch the palms and fingers to the third eye. And just very gently trace the fingers from the third eye outwards to the temples and bring back to the third eye again at the centre of the forehead. Just let your fingers trace from the third eye outwards to the temples. And one more time, back to the centre. And just trace the fingers outwards to the temples. And then release the hands once more. Back to perhaps this time both hands on the abdomen. If you liked the one hand on the navel and one hand at the chest, then come back to that. And just have an awareness of your breath softly coming in, softly going out. And as you next breathe in, imagine the breath comes in, and as you breathe out, you put into that out breath anything that you don't want, any emotion, any niggle, any pain, anything that's not serving you today. Put it into the out breath, and imagine your out breath going to the edge of the body. And another couple of breaths, breathing in and putting into the out breath anything you don't want, to the edge of your body. And your next out breath, this time imagining the breath travelling a little bit further to the edge of the world. And then the final visualization for this breath is to imagine the out breath travelling to the edge of the universe. And you can breathe out and imagine the out breath leaving from anywhere, from your nose, from your feet, or from the part of the body or the part that you want to release tension from. The breath is going to the edge of the universe. And then just release any thoughts. And once more, very gently hug one knee into the chest and then the other. And just gently rock from side to side or up and down, hugging the knees in. Really, it's a freestyle. We'll circle the knees. And then taking the time to roll to one side. And then taking the time to come up to a seated position. Gently. And I'm not very good at chanting, which I thought Charlotte was particularly good. So if Charlotte, if you don't want to lead, that's absolutely fine. But if you wanted to do an om,
Yes.
I'll take us out on an om. We can join in or not. Are you all right? Just slightly go from side to side. All yours.
Should I do the one?
You do whatever you can do 1, 3, whatever you want. For the day, and that any kind of sound or vibration is very effective on several levels.